Another day at the junkyard. Let's see what we can get today. We have secured a monster cart. Our first order of business today is finding a crane. I asked the guy where they keep them here, and he's like, oh, they're just scattered around the yard. I'm like, oh man. There's one all the way down there. Hopefully no one's using it. The yard's only been open for like 30 minutes, so. This is gonna be so difficult to get all the way across the yard by myself. I'm gonna drop off my tools in this cart by the 240. That way I don't just leave these stranded in the middle of nowhere over there. And usually what I'll do is hide my tools in a random car, specifically one that no one will actually go through, so they don't get stolen. Hello, hello. Looks like no one has touched this thing, which is good. No water sitting in there. This Kia here, no one's gonna go looking for parts in there, so just put your tools in there to hide them. I found this crane over here that's much closer. Hopefully no one's using this one. This thing is massive. I don't know if it's gonna fit on the aisle. I guess maybe. I guess they have it spaced out accordingly. All right, we got it over here. Whew. Now we just start yanking it out. A good friend let me know this 240 was going to be in the yard, which is why I'm here today grabbing the KA. The past 2 days I spent stripping the rest of the car of all the useful parts on it so that they can be put to good use and not taxed. But now I'm going to grab the KA for one of my other project cars. A good rule of thumb before buying any engine, especially a junkyard engine, is to make sure it has good compression. Now we're not able to crank this motor over and do it properly, so there's a couple different things you can do that could possibly get you by. First thing I like to do is just see if it spins, for one. And in this case it spins very nicely, but not freely. You don't want it to spin too easy because then that means you have no compression. Then I look for 4 even compression strokes, since this is a 4-cylinder. But you have to make sure the spark plugs are still in it, which I do feel, and you can hear the intake kind of hissing. I guess it's got some vacuum going on in there, which is a good sign. And then the next thing I like to do is pop off the valve cover. That way you can see the valve train and see how gunked up the oil is, or if it's rusty in there. You never know. This filter has a date on it, 3/21/2018. So it's been sitting for at least 4 years, or the oil hasn't been changed for 4 years. Either way, we're gonna make sure. Well, I'd say this looks pretty dang good. It's definitely not super clean, but it's also not gunked up at all, which is good enough for me. I'm making some great progress here. I've got the heater core hoses disconnected, all of the harnesses disconnected. We also got the power steering lines disconnected, AC disconnected, but I'm having trouble removing the steering column because it's so rusted on to like that pivot yoke thing. And you have to remove the steering column because of this air pump tube that like wraps around it. So I'm looking at the header now and it's sliced open. So there's no point of really taking that. So now I'm working on trying to get this heat shield off so I can take off the rest of the exhaust manifold. But these bolts are so rusted on here that they're rounding off. Same with the engine mounts. It's just been a lot of fun working with rust. Almost got all the exhaust manifold nuts off. But also there's an EGR tube attached to this. It connects all the way back here. Loops around the back to the intake manifold. So we're gonna have to take that off as well. And if you've done this on a KA, you know how hard that is to do with the motor still in the car. Yeah, it's already catching on the EGR tube. All right, well, I couldn't really get the EGR stuff off. It's too crammed. But I did take off the harness that was inside the cabin, threw it on top of the motor. So at this point, I'm just gonna hook up the chain to the engine, and then I'm just gonna start pulling it after I take off the rest of the trans mounts and whatnot. And then hopefully I'll have enough slack between the firewall where I can actually start to detach what's still connected. That's all it's held up by. Gotta take off the auto shift linkage. I hope these trans mount bolts come off. Here she goes. I gotta say, it's such an awesome feeling being able to pull this by myself in the junkyard. If I can do this, and I'm just a little skinny guy, then anyone else can do this. Wow, it just looks so crazy. This poor S chassis, at least basically every usable part is going to be put to good use and help continue keep the other S chassis alive or whatever this KA is going into. I did end up getting this air pump pipe off, and it was not easy. I had to use a pry bar and a hammer, and I basically just like chiseled it. So I'm exhausted. Probably spent a good hour doing that. But now you can see the EGR tube that runs behind the head with all of this bull crap going on. This will all be deleted. There will be absolutely no hoses. Well, there's gonna be hoses, but you know what I mean. There's not gonna be emissions hoses on this thing. And I'll show you guys how to do all that. But this is what I was saying. These are the two bolts in the back that I couldn't get to from, you know, on top. So hopefully we can just take these two off, and then the rest of the header should come off with this EGR pipe. But overall, not too bad. It's definitely got its oil all over it, but that's, I mean, it's the KA, so it's gonna have oil all over it. We can start zipping the trans off, and then we'll go from there. Oop. Ah. So difficult to do by yourself, but just gotta get it done sometimes. Do you think this vacuum line was doing anything? Just turning to dust. Ah, it's sitting on the exhaust. Alright, I'm gonna have to pull this up again. I also took off all the trans bolts, so I'm just gonna try and let the trans fall. Well, whoever needs an auto transfer 240 has it easy. Now that's one loaded cart right there. There's the Integra. I gotta pull it up around over here. We got this cool little hoist thing that you can use to lift up your stuff that you got. Hopefully it's gonna work out and fit inside the car. Oh, I wish you could just pull in back here. That'd make it a lot easier, but it is what it is. I might actually have to take off the hatch. Oh, I really don't want to do that. Now that's a truck. Oh no, my antenna. Dang. My antenna broke off. Guess we'll have to weld on another one. This thing looks crazy with no trunk. luxury. Wow. Oh my gosh, check that out. All right, I guess we just kind of give it a rotate and then let her down. Well, I guess we'll just hope that this fits and clears the trunk. It's pretty dang close, so it might actually clear with the trunk being able to close. Oh, so we got a little bit more. There we go. All right, now I'm just gonna try and load in everything else around it. Got the steering column with key, mint rear hatch carpet, shroud, brake booster, master cylinder, stock radio, AC, clutch fan, climate control, power steering. Lots of goodies. I'm sure I'll be able to squeeze it in now. We got the car loaded up completely. Now let's hope that this hatch will clear. There you have it. It actually closed. This is just absolutely wild. The fitment doesn't even look that slammed. I'm surprised. I thought this thing would be like tucking rim. That's insane. It's a casual KA in the back of this thing. Well, I did drop my toolbox, so I need to put all these back. Now that is a certified work truck. I love Integra so much. Such great cars. Or trucks, however you want to put it. Oh, it's already rubbing. This is going to be a really fun hour-and-a-half drive home. Oh my gosh, it feels so heavy. Oh my goodness. It smells so good in here. I actually really love the smell of burnt tire. It reminds me of drifting. I'm really curious to see what the fuel economy is on this car. This car usually gets the best gas mileage out of all of my cars, so we'll see if it made a difference with this engine in here. This ride height is fitting too good right now. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's too bad these coilovers are seized, otherwise I would definitely run it at this height. It looks so good like this. All you have to do is put a whole engine in the back to achieve that fitment. I still can't believe that the trunk closed with no issues. I just let it down softly and it was like, clink. I was like, oh, didn't even have to slam it or anything. It just, perfect. Even with the bracing it fit. Although I did have to take off just the lower bar for it to fit perfectly, but I mean, hey, it works. And then we'll log this fill up. And looks like we got 47.5 kilometers. So let me convert that to miles really quick. Comes out to 29.5 miles to the gallon. Dang, this thing's getting about 30 miles to the gallon. Sheesh. Best daily ever. Highly recommended Integra if you ever come across one. They look good, they drive good, good gas mileage, and a work truck. Do you guys have any crazy stories of what you've hauled or transported in your cars? Or any interesting junkyard stories? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear from you guys. Sucks about my antenna. Now the radio's not gonna work. It's a new day, and I'm heading to my brother's to drop off this engine. Yeah, what you think? Rear engine swap.
It's crazy that it fit in here.
Dude, right? It closed with no problem too. I thought it was gonna, yeah. When I was taking the hatch off by myself, it kind of slipped out of my hands for a second. Just, I was like, dang.
Just a quick weld and they'll be right back, bro.
Right.
Oh, no trans?
No, it was auto.
Oh, true.
Honestly, that should be enough.
Yeah.
Right on the subframe.
It's probably right again. That's how it is whenever I just put stuff in mine.
Really? Dude, I might not even need to take the hatch off.
I'll let you do the honors if you want.
Is this gonna fit in between your two super nice cars, dude?
I don't think so.
Might have to move the Z.
Yeah.
That's probably not what my Z is gonna sound like. So I need a core engine to bring back, and obviously this Z did not have an engine in it. So we're gonna take one of Seth's many D series that he went through. But before I put it in my car, I wanna drain the water out of it. Dude. Oh, now it's oil. Okay, that's good. She's in. A lot smaller than the KA.
A lot lighter.
Probably less than half the weight, I'd say. If it fits, it ships. I'm hoping that it's gonna rub a lot less now, since this engine is not nearly as heavy as a KA. Let's see. So far, so good. Haven't heard anything. No rub. Oh, there was some rub there. Now we're headed back to the junkyard to drop off this core because we can get over $80 for it. And I also want to grab some more parts in that 240, but we'll see what's left of it. And we're back. I've spent so much time here recently, it's ridiculous. Wonder if I can find someone to help me lift this thing out of here. It'd be a lot faster than taking off the trunk. Thank you so much. So I guess now I just have to dump this into the core bin. And there she is. Oh, dang, someone took the core support. Okay, so I wanted to take the body harness today. Let's see if it's still here. And it is right here. Rear hatch interior is still here. Oh, someone tried taking the windshield. They probably cracked it taking it out. They were using the cruise control? They took the doors off, and I think they bought the other one, which I don't blame them because that door was in pretty good condition. No floor left. Just kind of falls apart. Well, this is new. Oh, it's got the rays. These are forged from the factory. Maybe I'll grab these. I don't need them, but I'm sure someone could use them. They are kind of rash, but that could be used as drift spares. Whoop. AEM. Ah, so there's only 3 of these wheels. It looks like this one was flat. This is like evidence of tire mark. It's diffuser. Oh, looks like there was a rat or a mouse eating away at this cushion. Looks like they got some snacks here. Even though people have already destroyed this interior, I'm still going to take it because if I get another S13 down the road, it would be just good to have on deck if I need it, because good luck finding it anywhere else. Everything in the rear is basically done. It's all clumped up right here now. But I need to start working on getting the carpet up because I need to free up the inner harness here because it like runs along here, tees off here, and then that'll help me also get this dash harness out as well. I don't think there's anything over here, so I don't have to worry about that, but this is like the main part right here. Here we go. The whole body harness. I have been meaning to buy a pair of scissors, and I found some in this 240. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Now we just gotta load up the rest of the interior on top. And I'm also gonna go grab that intake off of that VQ. Maybe I'll grab the wheels too. It has this rusty filter on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off because I don't want to be charged for that. It's definitely not any good. All right. No bends. Looks good to me. This one looks pretty cooked. Let's see how the other side looks. It does have some rash, but at least it's not gouged like the other side. So I'll probably just take this one and make it a pair. Do you think that Nissan used the spare tire design? By the way, this is another G35. To make the same design for these wheels? You can't tell me that's not inspired. Well, I'd say there's about nothing left of this 240 that's really usable, unless you want to come pull this glass. But it's a shame that it was in here to begin with, even though this thing is pretty gone. I don't even know what spec these are. But I want to try them out on my Z32. I think they look pretty sick. Oh, it's so sick. Raise on an OEM wheel. 19 by 8 plus 30. Dang, they're only by 8? That's kind of weak. Are these staggered? Is the rear wider? Oh, it looks wider. 19 by 8.5 plus 33. It even actually says rear on there. I didn't even notice that. Dang. I'm guessing this wheel is probably destroyed if they're running with no tire for that long. This is probably a takeover car, let's be honest. That's probably why that was blown in the first place. But we'll just get the two fronts for now. Dude, look at this thing. This is a massive vehicle. What? Why does this door work? Actually latches? What? This thing got absolutely wrecked. Well, whoever wants to come back and grab this one rear, I'm gonna leave it inside the car as a little treat. Let's say we are all stacked up and ready to go. And that's 13 gold mine right here. Man, I don't know how I didn't notice this, but this card I picked out today is staggered out. And now we just load all this in here. Success. Man, I love hatchbacks. Thanks for tagging along. That was a lot of fun. Got a lot of goodies. Can definitely put all of those to good use. Well, catch you guys next time. Peace.